Hey there, lovely listeners. Welcome to ENL Talks. It's Eman and Liz here, and we're excited to dive into today's topic, our business first. So, Liz will be sharing her experiences first, and then I'll jump in for part two to chat about my own journey. We'll be sharing about how we felt when we first came up with our business ideas, created our first business pages, landed our first clients, and made our first dollar. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation. Starting with Liz, go ahead.
Everything from, like Iman said, starting your business, starting from the plan that you have or that passion project, and then going into, creating an Instagram account, creating all of your social medias, and then creating your business plan, etc., and how that felt for us. So for me, I am presently in the process of establishing a jewelry brand. A project that I've wanted to do for a little while now, and it's been an adventure.
It definitely is.
It's very interesting when you try to actually put your thoughts and your plans into action. I find that a lot of just steps that you kind of never thought about actually having to take kind of arise out of nowhere. Things like, for instance, originally when I came up with this idea, before it, I always wanted to, start something. That's kind of where it started. I was like, I want to do something. I want to make something of my own. And then I was just, for years, this idea, and it took me such a long time to come up with it, but it took me, I want to say honestly, years, because I would go back and forth between jewelry, between fashion, between makeup, between skincare, between literally absolutely pretty much anything. Islamic fashion, like abayas, and certain things like that. And then I kind of went into jewelry. And funnily enough, actually, my mom was in jewelry. She's a goldsmith by trade, so that was fun. So she was kind of like, "Oh, okay, jewelry. Well, I always knew you'd go down this path, But when I started with that, it was, I guess it started with me mostly creating kind of a brand identity. So starting with logo, starting with color like palettes and everything, because to me personally, I'm a visual person, as you know. So it was easier for me to kind of visualize it first, and then going from there. And yeah, like we talked in our first episode, I did start also creating logos a while back. So that's something that I generally do. When I have an idea and I try to do something, it helps me to kind of understand the identity of the brand. And moving forward, it's just a lot of work. I think,
Absolutely, of course.
I think, moving forward, it's a lot of, you have to establish an identity, and past that, you have to understand everything from the tone of your brand, how you're going to be speaking to your customers, right? Is it going to be very casual, like, hey, you want to buy this? or is it more like, hello everybody, this and that? Like, is it more formal? So you have to establish all of that. And I don't mean,
so basically the tone of your brand, how it comes across to clients.
And I don't mean to say this like you have to have it all figured out, because I clearly don't. But it's nice to have an idea starting off. That's something I've learned. And just kind of take your time with the planning stages, because once you actually put them into action, once you've contacted your manufacturers / suppliers or whatever, it kind of goes very fast.
So how did you actually feel about it? Like when you created your first Instagram pages, when you finally made your designs and they were physical in front of you.
The designs took so long.
How did you feel about all of it though? Actually seeing it come to life. What did that make you feel like?
When I started with the designs, right, and when they actually started coming together, and I was like, okay, this is something I'm actually liking, because there was a lot of drafts and there was a lot of when I started actually coming across things I started to like, I kind of had this mixed feeling of both like confidence, like, oh great, I can actually do this, that's amazing, that's great, right? But also the feeling of what is that feeling when you feel like you don't belong?
It's imposter syndrome.
I had that the whole way through, and I still do. I make myself sound so insecure. I'm not. I swear I'm not. I'm just.
Oh my god, it's not.
I just
has nothing to do with insecurity. It's simply just because entrepreneurship is about all of the highs and the lows. You know what I mean? Like you're learning something new, you're creating something new. You don't have it figured out. Like you're bound to go through all these different types of emotions. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I will say, like, originally starting off, especially starting off, you're gonna feel like, can I even do this? There's this one quote I came across, and I think this really applies to the situation, is if you weren't how did it go? It was like, if you weren't capable, you wouldn't have the opportunity, and if you weren't I don't know, something like along those lines.
I get what you're trying to say, though. If you didn't have the ability to do it, it wouldn't have, like, the opportunity wouldn't have shown, and you wouldn't have had the opportunity to even take it in the first place. You know what I mean? So because especially with a lot of entrepreneurs, like, I know a lot of people who talk about having different ideas here and there, but at the end of the day, they never act on it. They never act on those ideas. They never execute. They don't plan anything. They just talk about it. So I think just the fact that you took your first step to even draw something down, create your first design, start your Instagram pages, start your branding process, have an idea of exactly what it is you want to do, how you're going to do it, and when you're going to do it. It's a very strong foundation to have when you're starting a new business.
No, for sure.
Okay, so I'm actually curious, did you ever start with a business plan at all, or did you kind of just jump right into it once you had the idea?
If I'm being honest, I did not have a business plan. I never do. Which is, I think, kind of not the best way to go about things. I think now that I actually had time to sit with this idea that I dreamt about for so long, it's nice to be able to kind of actually put it on paper and have a plan for it, kind of establish everything, have all of your statements there, have your whole business plan there, and kind of go from there.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so now I have one. now I have a business plan, because I've spent enough time around you.
Oh my god.
And I've seen how it's done. I've seen the pro work. So yeah, now I have a business plan.
Stop, you're gonna make me blush.
And I definitely recommend, but I mean, it's true, I definitely recommend for anybody who's starting off, start with a business plan. You have your vision, put it on paper and see what it looks like on paper, because it always sounds better in your head than it does on paper, for sure.
Yeah, and even when we talk about business plans, we're not even really talking about something so incredibly formal that you need to take to the banks to go get your loans and so forth. Like we're not talking about that. We're talking about basically just writing the idea down, having, kind of like your step by step, working backwards from, your goal, and then moving backwards again to where your starting point is, and then kind of just keep track in the sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's exactly what it is.
So let me ask you this. How did you feel when you earned your first dollar? And it can be from like any one of the ventures that you tried.
It was very nice. It was very heartwarming. I will say, I think my first dollar was from you.
Oh.
You supported my business.
Oh my god, I completely forgot. Was this with the shoe business?
No, you didn't pay me for that.
Oh,
she didn't pay me for that.
Wait, which one was it?
No, it was the logo.
Oh, the logo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Look at us now.
Oh my god. No, but I was kind of, this was during COVID times actually. So we were all...
Oh, I forgot. I hired you to do that. That's so funny.
We were all bored inside, and then we were thinking about what to do with our lives. And then Eman was really into Shopify, I believe, and like dropshipping stuff. Yeah. She was really into dropshipping at the time. And I was like, okay, well, what do I do? You know what I mean? I was just sitting there, like, I need to do something too with my life. And I was like, oh, like maybe I can do like design or graphic design of some kind, because at the time, for some reason, on my Explore page, it was all these logos and everything. Anyways, I was like,
that was a sign.
Yeah, I was like, it's a sign. Let me try, right? So I was trying to do it, and I was just I put myself out there on Fiverr and everything. I had like
I
my own.
remember that.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I had my own.
It seems like it was so long
Yeah.
ago.
Yes, that was fun. And then at the time, you needed a logo, so I was like, okay, cool. And you were like, would you like to design? I'm like, sure. And then, so I made that. And then you were like, how much? Just name your price. I will say my price was way too high.
You did. Oh my god. I think you charged me like
$40 or something.
Yeah.
It was way too high. Way too high.
As a beginner too.
I
mean, good for you for putting yourself up there, having the confidence and being like, my work is worth $40 for this
you
logo.
Liked it though.
I loved it.
Yes.
It was beautiful.
So you can't complain.
But for the first logo,
I
still
yeah.
It didn't seem high at the time, but now that we're like so far, I'm like, you overcharged me.
Yeah, I definitely did. I'm sorry about that. But I think that's kind of that was my first dollar. I guess my first $40.
Your first $40.
And it was actually it was I guess in my case it was heartwarming because it was a friend supporting me, and it was great because you saw my vision. You were like you were like, you got this, I believe in you.
Absolutely.
And I was like,
the logo that you made for me, and I still use it to this day actually, because I know that I had you I believe that was the first logo, and then you made a couple others for me after within that time before I got into graphic design later on, but I believe it was my Elite's logo, because you know that motivational page that I have? Yeah, I still use it for that.
Because I was like, that looks so familiar.
So if anybody needs a logo, you know where to go.
Yeah, I got you. No, but it's fun. I really liked it. It was like I said, it was very nice. It was again, it was more so a thing of like, well, I don't know if I can do it. And it was very cute that I had people supporting me and everything. I think having a support network is huge.
Of course. And it pushes you to go after it. It's very hard to keep going with to keep chasing after your vision when everyone around you is putting you down.
No, definitely. So if you can surround yourself with people who actually will support you in your endeavors, in your business ventures and everything. Or honestly, comment below or comment wherever you can comment on our
we'll
YouTube
hype you
page.
up.
Yeah, literally anywhere. Instagram will hype you up, or anyone else. That would be great. I think if we can kind of establish that would be amazing.
Yeah, of course.
To kind of have a community like that, because I feel like I haven't seen that a lot.
No, honestly, most communities, it usually has something to do with somebody who's already made. You see what I mean? And it's nice and all to have somebody who already made it kind of create that community and kind of like teach you step by step in the sense.
And for them to notice you, I feel like oftentimes they're just too busy off being awesome and amazing, on top of the world in their penthouses. So it's kind of difficult to actually get them to notice you and give you their time of day. And I feel like at this point in our business ventures, we're kind of still starting off. We're still relatively at the beginning, I want to say. So it's gonna take time, but the fact that we're sharing our experiences and we're updating as we go, and we're sharing the do's and don'ts of what has worked for us and what hasn't. I think that's where it has a more realistic, positive impact on listeners who haven't yet started their journeys or are at the beginning of their journeys. And maybe they feel discouraged and they're like, I don't have any friends around me who actually support this. Well, we support you.
We do.
Like,
we support you all the way.
100%. You got this, honestly.
Absolutely.
So that's that. I think that's pretty much. But anyways, so back to Eman. I kind of want to see what she's gonna share with us today.
Okay, so we're gonna continue this in our next episode. So we thank you all for listening, and we are going to continue my experiences in business first in our upcoming episodes. Stay tuned.